welcome back to Through the Grapevine. Tonight we have Amir on again, Annie, Jane Kelly, and Chris over from the Veggie Plot. Tonight we're going to be talking about gadgets, all the things that make our gardening experience a little bit better, and also some hacks on the way as well. So, if one of you got, have
No,
you got?
no,
It's Jane Kelly, isn't it?
no.
No, it's me. I've just turned it off. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay,
Annie.
Annie, you've been on all
Thanks,
day.
Annie.
You forgot the rules, so don't worry. Don't worry
Can
at
I
all.
just say I'm going home now? Have you
Thank you,
seen
lot.
what's happened?
Of course I have.
Look!
Lot.
Oh, every time.
That's the start of the show. I'm feeling much better already. Thank you so much,
Brilliant.
Lot. I blooming need it this week. I tell you what, honestly, you should see the amount of combos I've had to buy for the new. I can't wait to show you all on Sunday what I've been doing. I've been recovering from the chest infection, but the day that the fever went, I was back out on the plot and I was starting off with a new project. But the fig and olive plot looks
Thanks,
absolutely beautiful. Annie, I cannot wait for you to see it. Honestly, it is looking pretty smart now.
Can I
Right,
just
let's
say,
have a go on, Jane.
Look, he spent it all on chocolate. That's it.
I-
That's all I'm saying. That's all you're doing. You're just sweetening this
That's
chocolate
what it
habit.
is.
So well done.
I wasn't at, yeah, that's what it was. I didn't have a chest infection. I had my
No.
diabetes was playing out. Ah, but I'm gonna say quickly hello to some people, and I'm gonna try because this is gonna speed round because we've took so long to come live, which is my fault. There's quite a lot there now. So, Grow Big TV, hello Lock, hello our allotment plots. Who else is through? Hi Gemma, hi Sue. So everyone say hello to Gemma's mum because Gemma's mum's watching it and she likes watching all this. So
Hello, Gemma's
hello.
mum.
Gemma,
Yes,
smell.
I did say I'd give a little shout out to her mum because she's watching tonight. Hi
I think
Wendy
my
Barry.
family are watching too.
Oh, hi Chris's
Can I
family.
give them a shout out?
Yeah, give them a shout out.
Hey!
And my daughter's watching, Anna.
Hi Anna. Charlotte couldn't be bothered, but you know,
Charlotte's busy.
Charles got a life. Hi Kerry, dog in the plot. Hi Sharon. Hi Wayne in his garden. Hi MLJ. Hi Mel's Veg and Flowers. Jamie's allotment garden. Has anyone been watching Jamie's allotment garden? Because I have. Well, I'm not saying go over now, but have a look later on. Hi Rob. Hi Jean. Hi Robin. Hi. I'm gonna say hi Jane's garden then, but you. Hi Stiggy. Hi Colin. Hi Nigel, nice to see you on. I think is Nigel on? Is Jane is it next week that Nigel's on? Do you know Jane?
Yes.
You're saying
Yeah.
yes and you don't know
No,
yet.
no, it's not. It's 2
No,
weeks
it's not.
time.
It's the week after.
2 weeks time. 22nd.
Yes. Next week we got lovely Rulander. We've got Linda's coming on as well.
Yeah.
We've got Linda, the live virgin. Moving on. Dan Rabbit, Lamia, Joe's Patch, hiya, nice to see you on. James Jennings. I'm gonna have to stop after 3 more, okay? Hi Lisa Skilton. Hi the right pair plot. Hi Karen in the garden. Is that 3? Hi Growing Plotty. Hi Bethan. Right, Jess growing with me.
Dave.
I think Julia, Dave. I think we're.
Lynn.
Hi Lynn. I think we're up to date. So I've said hello to everyone. Right, let's start because we all made a joke earlier on that I probably could have done this live all by myself with all the gadgets that I probably own on my channel. But I thought, who better than Jane Kelly, who hates gadgets, and he's not a big fan of gadgets really, but Jane's got a theory that is more of a lads thing. So do you agree with that in the chat? Like, do you think gadgets is more of a boys' toy sort of thing, and the women just like actually gardening, and we try and find an easier way around it? So,
Yeah,
what
we
do you
do it
think?
properly. Yeah.
Jane, if you had a gadget to put the garlic in October, you would have bought it. I would have bought it in. Chris, what do you think about that? Do you think that is
Hey,
more of
Tony.
Is it only gardening gadgets? Or are you talking about any gadgets?
No,
Because
'cause
I think
anything.
girls like their own type of gadgets. You know,
Yeah.
careful where that goes. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is a spade a gadget and a trowel is a gadget? They're gadgets,
No,
aren't they? And we all have our
no.
favourite bits
Yeah.
and bobs. Or are you
No.
talking about really fancy things?
Unnecessary
Yeah.
tat is
And
what I'm
I
Unnecessary
beg your
tat.
pardon. Expensive tat, thank you.
yeah. Unnecessary expensive tat.
What's
That's
an
what I
example of
mean.
unnecessary tat then?
Would be.
Jane, I would say that my Bosch pump is like
That's
the
not
best
tat.
tool.
That's a great idea.
Now I agree. Now I would see this as being like
That's
the
brilliant.
ultimate. Now I know Jane would say, "What's wrong with a normal hose? What's wrong with a watering can?" I can already hear her saying it to me. But this tool, to me, I was sat down thinking, what ones can I show tonight? And I think this is one of the best tools for an allotment. If you're at home and you've got your own hose pipe, fine. But I think if you haven't got access to a tap on your plot, or you're not able to use hose pipes via the tap, this is like the best thing ever. You just plug in a drill battery in, drop the sump pump in, and then press go. And you can either even put it on like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So mine's set up to my irrigation system inside the polytunnel, which is like all set up at the back. Chris, you got something similar, haven't you? I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, exactly the same
But
sort of outlet as that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just connected to my IBC outside. I just come over before my shift early in the morning, press 15 minutes, and it empties 15 minutes worth of water through the irrigation system, which I got all through the beds. And I even started connecting to the outside beds as well, which I've had to take back up now because obviously I've remodeled plot. But go on, Jane.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I do. I actually do. I can see the point
It
of
is.
that, but I wouldn't know how to use it. So that's back on me because I would need someone to show me exactly what to do with it.
Well,
But I do think that's good. That's useful.
my version was taken from Chris's version. So I watched Chris when he did it, because I was looking for, ways of making my life better and easier on the plot, because the worst thing I had to get up. Yeah, I used to have to get up an hour and a half earlier before a 12-and-a-half-hour shift in the hospital and hose the garden in summer. So my argument is, I don't have to do that now. I can sleep more. I just go over and I've literally can put my hand through the fence now. That's what I connected to. And I press the button and just get back in the car and carry on with my day. And I know then it's nice and warm. Has Amir gone home?
Little break. Perhaps he's having a break. Be back in a minute.
I didn't do that. I'm telling you. Oh, here's Amir. Now he's coming back. Amir, what are you
I'm
doing?
back in. I don't know. I think, did you put me to sleep? No, honestly, I was really enjoying that.
I only do that to Jane Kelly.
True.
No, I was really
I'll
enjoying
swap
that.
you
Really, I
around,
was
'cause-
just, yeah. I was
But
thinking.
yeah, I
could
just kind of
definitely
think
do
it's
that.
one of those easiest. Yeah, and I just think it's one of those things. And I don't just use it for that. You'll see me on my channel using it when I want to wash the greenhouse, when I want to water as well. I do see other plot holders, sometimes they're allowed to connect to the hose, to the taps and stuff and water. I think, what a luxury. And I remember thinking, I haven't got time to sit there and keep lugging watering cans from the tap.
It's a real luxury having a tap, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're on top of a hill and there's no water, so you've got to save the water, and then in order to get that out, you've either got to traipse loads of watering cans. I wish I had one of your things for the allotment. That would be great, but in the polytunnel, mine's slightly different. But yeah, I think it's a great gadget. That is, yeah.
I think we have got a picture of yours, Chris. Now, don't quote me. This might be the right picture, but yeah.
Oh, right.
So you've got like these two.
Yeah, mine's a little simpler than yours, I think, in that I haven't even got to go to the allotment to turn it on. And I expect loads of people have got it set up like this, but basically it's like an automatic timer. It just takes 2 little AA batteries, and it's gravity fed. So both the water tanks that you can see behind me are full of water.
And is it really effective, Chris? Like, is it?
Works perfectly, yeah. I mean, I, like you, used to spend an hour to 2 hours a day watering.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the heat of summer, but now it just does it all itself. So it saves so much time, yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Go on, Jane.
What do they run on then, Chris? Are they batteries?
It's just 2 little AA batteries go in
sorry,
the container, and then basically when the timer comes round, so every 8 hours it comes round, it opens up the valve and the water just goes through because it's gravity fed for 15 minutes, and then it turns itself off, and that'll happen once in the morning, once in the evening.
And it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah. really straightforward.
Jane, I'll send you a link.
I need to go and watch the video.
I'll send a link
because
to
I
that.
could do with one.
It's a long time ago.
I tell you what I'll do is at the end of this video, I'll put it in the description because other people might want to go over and see that Chris's. Because if you haven't seen Chris's channel, I recommend it because he's going to be like, oh, but I rate Chris's such a really good channel, and I think he needs to grow and grow and grow. And he's so clever with the gadgets, and you do like the problem solve as well, don't you, Chris? That's what I like. And
just trying to figure something out, but I think all allotmenters do, don't they? I'm sure everybody does. It's all usually on a budget or on some making something out of nothing,
Yeah.
It's just dawned on me why I don't have any gadgets, because I garden at home. I've got my whole house, including the kitchen sink, so I don't need it.
Yeah.
It just never occurs to me.
No.
Maybe that's one of the reasons. Chris, just to let you know, those other pictures that come through now as well, so we can talk about those in a bit as well. Maybe that. I think some of the problems, the gadgets I got, are generally because I'm at the allotment. If I was at home, would I have a timer irrigation in? I probably still would.
Yeah, I think you would.
I would.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I would, and it's generally not because of being lazy. I generally do think that my time could be spent somewhere else. But I do sometimes, if I've had a really stressful day in work, before I had the plot, my favorite thing to do would be to go out in the garden and relax and water all the plots. The garden, I used to absolutely love that, and I don't do that as much now because I spent most of my time at the plot. I did have a system put in that waters all the beds in the back garden, but in a future video, I think it's in about maybe 1 or 2 videos time, I'm showing you how to do something similar at the front, because I've got like a new kitchen garden growing area coming. So Annie, I'm going to be coming to the kitchen garden style of things. So yeah, my whole front garden, over the summer, is going to turn into this tropical food forest, and it's quite a small space. I'm going to do like a small series on people who haven't got allotments, people who haven't got big gardens, but still want to watch our channels, but also want to grow some food as well. So I've purposely chosen things that aren't too expensive if you want to buy or build, and also space as well.
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think sometimes there's a certain put off, perhaps for some people. If you haven't got a big garden or an allotment, you've just got a balcony. It's nice to see what other people are doing. Having an allotment
but it is amazing what you can grow in a small space. And you just mentioned balconies. People with balconies grow loads of stuff.
They do, yeah, completely.
You just go up. You can't go out.
There's a block of flats in our town, and I sometimes go past there purposely to see if they're still doing the same thing every year. And it's only like 2 stories, but there's an old gentleman there who grows tumbling tomatoes over his balcony, and it's only about 10 foot up until his neck, till he's on his level. And I always wondered, I thought, how does he pick them? Like, I know he hangs over and picks some of them, but the one day I drove past and he had a step ladder up, and he was in the pathway to the like block of flats, and he was picking them. So he was using open air space to grow tomatoes, and he had cucumbers climbing down. I just thought, fair play to him. And he cleverly as well, because the downstairs flat, the pathway was communal. So he grew a cucumber once in a big pot, and because it vined all the way up, he'd vined it so he picked up to that level. So by the time he got to summer, he was picking all the cucumbers from his apartment, and it was just a vine going up the drain pipe. And I just thought,
that's brilliant.
That'll be me one day, that will. I'm telling you now, that'll be me. So,
I wonder what the main challenge is in sort of feeding plants. Is that, when you're just growing out of a pot, that must be a main challenge of food and, water and stuff. Yeah.
But I think looking back at a lot of my gadgets, they are problem-solving gadgets more than anything, because like the solar power, if I was at home, I wouldn't need any of those things, because I could just I could plug something in, or if I needed a
An
light.
extension lead.
Yeah, and that's what you do, Annie, don't you? Like,
sometimes I run it right up the garden to the summer house.
Yeah, I just think, but I don't think gadgets need to be electrical or anything. Like, I think, when I chose this topic, I wanted it to be things that make your garden experience better. Like, Annie, you thought out of the box as well, didn't you? You said, like, your coffee mug. Like, you said, like, you couldn't be without, and let's be honest, you are forever sat there with a cup of coffee at the end of your videos and stuff, and that's part of your routine, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Are you in the garden then, Annie, with that picture, or do you on an allotment?
No, I used to have an allotment, but I garden at home now. It's my back garden. I dug the whole lawn up and built raised beds myself, and I've got a summer house and a greenhouse.
Ah, lovely. Oh, wow, look at that. That's so beautiful.
So that's the view from the summer house.
Huh.
Lovely.
That's amazing.
There's a couple of really good points have come up there, actually, about watering. Would you say watering en masse, watering everything at the same time? One, how do you know that every plant needs the same amount of water because you're watering them all the same? And the other one, watering by hand, and I'm not either side of the fence here, allows you to look over the plants and seeing if there's an issue or anything, because you get up close and personal with the plants, which I thought that's a really good point. So, I mean, obviously you can do that as well.
I think the thing with drip irrigation is very gentle and slow, and nothing splashes everywhere, and it just slowly absorbs in. And I think mine's just a polytunnel. I don't know about you, Danny, but so all the tomatoes all get the same sort of amount, sort of thing. Yeah.
So on mine, the soaker hose goes around the polytunnel, and then I think it was about halfway through summer, then we had that bit of a heat wave. So I put an extension outside, but you could also buy for the soaker hoses, valves in between, so you can choose not to have as much coming through. So, but I actually had it the other way around because I had pumpkins and squashes up there. I mean, you can flood them all day long, so they were loving it. But in my garden, which I've got something similar, I've got little valves that choose, and it branches off a little bit to different areas for different things. But generally, I don't stress about it that much. I've never looked at the garden and thought, oh, that's had too much water. A garden tends to manage itself. I think we're more precious when we have an allotment or growing food than we are when we have plants. Like I'll put plants out and I'll water every night, but I don't go, oh, I better make sure they have that extra bit. But with the tomatoes, I'm spending a lot more.
The other thing about your system and those systems is that you can put feed in the tank and then just slowly feed out all the time. So you haven't got to worry about that.
Speaking of that, I'll show you another system that I've got down on the Grapevine garden plot. Now, this is really good for if you've got a greenhouse or you're off grid and you want to go on holiday as well, which is really good. If you're at home, Annie, this is, you can just use a normal timer or whatever. But if you want to use, this is where this system is better than just plug into your tap, because you can carry on feeding while you're away as well. So I've got one of these in the greenhouse, which I've shown, I got a video on it as well. I'll link it to this in the description later on. So this is like really, really good. This one's like the Irrigation 24. So it means you can have 24 stations or pots or, tomato plants, anything. And it can be inside, outside, because I've got it in the greenhouse now, but through the spring now I'm going to be using it to water some of the beds as well.
Does it have to be sunny, or does it store power somewhere?
It doesn't store power, but the clever thing is though that it even on like a overcast day, I've gone over and this is still working fine. It doesn't there is a battery inside it as well, Chris, so I think it does hold a bit,
right?
But the good thing about this one is, like you mentioned, is that I've got this set up and it pumps from a barrel, and a barrel of water tends to last me about maybe a week, 2 weeks. But the good thing is, if I'm going on holiday, I can just leave this in the barrel. This stays in the barrel all through summer. Not last year, the year before, I didn't water my greenhouse not once, and I harvested all through the season. But going back to what you said, this is good because what I was doing is I was dropping in, the tomato feed into the barrel, and it was slowly feeding the barrel as well. So the plants all through the season, and I'm just topping it up a little bit, and it was literally like just giving it a barrel of feed. And I suppose you could do the same if you have like, you know, a netted piece of comfrey in there, or nettles as well. You know that there's a filter thing on the bottom, if you can see as well, so it doesn't tend to clog up the system. But I really rate this one, and I know some people have said it's a bit noisy, but I'm over the plot, and I'm lucky that I've got quite a few plot holders around me that are deaf. But I actually don't think it's that I actually don't think it's that
Very
noisy.
handy.
Yeah, I don't think it's that noisy though.
goodness.
It's just because I've got it set that it comes on twice a day for about 20 minutes now, because you can set all that as well. It's quite easy to program.
Yeah.
But it's not really like a massive noise. It's just more like a humming noise. Like it's just like a you know, just like as loud as a bee, I'd say. And that's for about 15 minutes or so. And nobody cares enough to be worrying about that, you know. And I really rate that system, and that's really handy. So at one point I was thinking about taking it to the actual polytunnel before I put the system in. So I'm still tempted about buying another one and putting it on the fig and olive as well, or maybe even buying two and trying to water the beds. And it's mainly for like the tie of the allotment and the garden. That's the thing I got. So I don't think that you cannot water the plot and stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, it's like if you want to go on holiday, Annie, you probably do worry about your garden a bit then when you go away, do you?
Well,
you know, because
that was the first holiday in 20 years, so it's not been an issue.
No.
But the holiday I've just had, nothing was really growing in the garden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got my alliums and broad beans, but they're just doing their own thing. They don't need any maintenance at the moment.
But if you wanted to go on holiday, do you know what I mean? There's always that worry, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And if you've
I
got
was
it
more
connected,
worried about my house plants.
yeah, you can buy similar systems for indoors as well, can't you? Like I've been offered a few times by companies for like a tank that you can put inside and it waters out, you know, waters all your house plants on your kitchen table and things. So there are gadgets out. I think there's a gadget out there for everything, and I am a sucker for a gadget. I really am. I really am.
Are you?
As you know, Jay.
Are you? Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I'll quick, because I did ask Instagram as well, because some of the viewers obviously have just got Instagram accounts. And I did ask some of them, and I was quite interested. I'll read some of them out now that some of the accounts said, and I was quite shocked really by some of the things. Like I didn't realize how popular a lady spade was. Like out of all the people that I asked, there was like 89 people came back saying that they love this lady spade, this very small petite spade.
But were they all women? Were they all women? Because Mike loves my lady spade.
Yeah, he does.
No, just because it's lighter, and you know, you can just do quick.
It's actually more accurate, isn't it? As well, sometimes it's kind of
yeah.
more precise and easier to use. Yeah, I get that.
Isn't it similar to?
I don't think it should be called a lady spade anymore. Anyway,
It should not.
It should just be called a petite spade.
But I think it's similar to a border spade that you might edge a lawn with. That, like you say, Chris, it is very accurate. You know, so
easier to dig specific holes. Yeah.
But you say that though. I've got one about 3 foot long, and it looks like a child's spade, but it's not. It's actually designed for. You know, I got it from a garden centre, and it wasn't in the child section, but I use that all the time for moving brassicas and making small holes and stuff, because a big spade sometimes it's so unnecessary to make a small hole. You know, I just think, you know, I don't know.
I do find, to be honest, I've got the same as well, and I find, especially in the compost bays, when I'm sort of like, it's so easy to use them for the compost bays, because a longer spade. Yeah, I do find them really useful then. The small
and also things like filling up little pot, you know, potato buckets and things like that.
Yeah.
A full spade sometimes, you know, you're messing it over the sides, and I should have put that on my list of gadgets, but I had to keep it. I asked everyone to pick 5, and I think I narrowed mine down to about 20. So we'll have a go at trying to get through some of them tonight. But shall we have a look at someone else's gadget? So, Jane. Yeah. Should we talk about some of your favourite gadgets, Jane? What would you say your main one is?
My hurry knife.
I thought you were going to say your husband, Jane, but all right, we'll move from him.
He's down the list.
Jane, did you actually send me a picture of your hori hori knife?
I did, but it's very small. It's basically me and a squash, and sort of in the foreground. It's there. Can you see it? It's there.
Right.
It's there next to my leg.
Right, I'll show her mine, Jane. So this is a hori hori knife. This was quite dirty, and I actually was shown 2 hori hori knives recently, and they were absolutely immaculate. And I had to think, shame on them. A hori hori knife is supposed to be there to be, if it's polished, fair enough, look after your tools, but I like mine to just be just like that.
Well,
that's like a 6-inch lethal weapon, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 7.
And it sounds really, really immature, but I really do feel like a pirate when I've got that. I really am like, and you should see me on my plot. Honestly, the stuff that I record, I think, no, they're not seeing that. But I mean, I just like it. That I don't run around blooming with a paper hat on my head, but.
I do.
But Jane, do you know what I mean though about when you have that though? It gives you this. I can't explain it. It gives you this like bit of
power.
Yeah, you really do feel like.
Danny, you need to stop now. You just need to stop now.
Yeah.
You're digging that.
I'm trying to justify my hori in my little lady gardening space.
I mean, do you use that hori hori in sort of place of a trowel or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, why not use a trowel? What's the benefit to the hori hori part?
Go on, Jane.
It's more accurate, like you were saying about the border spade. It's more accurate. So, and you can go quite deep with it. Whereas a trowel, they tend to be yay big. I suppose it depends on the trowel. You can get. Yeah. So it goes nice and deep. It's sharp. And you can use it for other things as well. So you can scrape off the weeds if there's anything on the surface at the time that you're about to dig with. It's just something, it feels quite, once you've got one, you get quite attached to it in a way that I've never been attached to any other garden tool ever. I just love it. I really love it. And I feel like we've got one each now because Mike was always taking mine. And I got quite snarky, I think that's the word about it. If he had it, I'd be saying, that's mine, actually. Thank you very much. Even if I wasn't going to use it and he needed it, I made sure that I still had it because, it's mine. Yeah, so it is. And I think it's an investment as well. I remember when I got one, it was a case of, I haven't gone high range. I think it was about 40 quid, which was a lot of money. And
they're not that much now, though, are they? They have come down a bit.
It depends what you get because there's all sorts now. And I remember going through everyone that was recommended, and mine, I think, is I can't say it properly. Niwaki, N-I-W. Yeah. It's that one, and that was like a mid-range one. And yeah, I do love it. And I had thought, what's the fuss? But now I've got one. Yeah, that would be my one thing I'd take with me. Not Mike.
But Jane, do you think? Did you buy it because you felt like you really needed it? Because I know you quite well. Or did you think, I gotta have one of those because all the other cool YouTubers had it, and I feel like I should have one as well?
I think it was.
That's you, Danny.
No, I'm a trendsetter, Annie. I'm a trendsetter.
Cool. He said cool YouTubers.
I believe I had that apron before Mia, but. The jury's out on that one.
I think the day my trowel fork is of no use, that's the day I might go out and buy one.
Yeah, I think it's different to a trowel. It was going to do something different, and it does more than a trowel. It does so much more, and you can use the edges to cut things with. If you want to. It just gives you that much more than a trowel. I like my trowel as well, but not as much as my hurry.
Muddy Boots says, Danny, do you use a lady's spade so it makes your veg look bigger?
What a great idea. You could photograph all your stuff next to that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I do.
Yeah.
Someone else have asked, has anyone got a Dalek hori or are they no good? I've never heard of them. I've never heard of that brand. Mel, you might be posh there. I've never heard of those.
I've heard Dalek make one of those drip irrigation things that I use. So yeah, they're so you can find them in garden centres and stuff. Dalek brand stuff.
It's branded.
Our allotment plot said, "How do you rate the soaker hoses?" Chris?
Well, I don't use a soaker hose. No,
No.
I use a drip irrigation, so it drips out. Yeah.
I do. When I first put it on, I remember, because I have to go outside the polytunnel and press the button. And when I come back in, I'm not even joking with you. I don't know if I had too many sweets or too much coffee that day. I generally thought there was a snake in the polytunnel. So I could hear just a faint hiss. So I ran out the polytunnel and I was like looking through the net because I shut the doors. And then I remembered and I realized that it must be the soaker hose, because it didn't sound like it was coming through both sides. And it was like such a concentrated noise. It really did sound like something was in my polytunnel, but yeah.
Yeah, I think my dripper goes because I have it dripping into little bits of blue pipe underneath where it drips out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I found it created like moss patches. It gets quite damp down the bottom of the garden on the top of the soil. So I put the dripping in. So when I'm in the polytunnel and it's gone off, all I can hear is this drip, 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 drip. It's like something's leaking, you know. So
that must be hard to record though as well, you know, if you're trying to, you know.
Yeah, it's quite subtle, but it just gets you think, what's going on?
I was tempted to do that, you know, that station. I think when I used the irrigation, I didn't use the little stakes that I had. I think I put the little valves and all inside each of the feed-in pots things, you know, those halos. I think that, but that was because I'd already put the halos in and then decided not to. But yeah.
Talking of halos, I was thinking of buying some for my tomato plants, because I always grow my tomato plants in big containers, but I really struggle with the watering. So with the halos, they take, is it 1.5 litres of water? Do you just fill them up once a week? Is that what you do with them?
Or whenever they're empty.
You water them all the time. It's a constant watering thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I tend to do that like every time I visit. Every time I visit, I fill up one of those.
It's not a storage facility.
So there's two. So there's one in the middle which you plant the tomato in, and then there's an outside one as well. So basically, some use it for one to feed, one to water. So you have two different, which I don't know why they do that, because they all goes into the same soil. But I've got a pile of them, and I know Mark's allotment plot. He uses a lot of them as well, but I'm trying to get away from just, honestly, there's nothing worse to me than on a summer's day going in a polytunnel and trying to water every single tomato plant, and you come out there drenched. You come out there absolutely drenched. A polytunnel is not a fun place in summer, so it's not. That's why you never see any of us wandering around a polytunnel. You know,
you film early in the morning, don't you? Yeah.
You film it very early in the morning. Like some of us go over there, but I mean, very early to try and do the polytunnel tour and stuff, because they are furnaces. And yeah, I just try and stay out of it as much as I can. That's why I never show it really in the summer, just to harvest.
Yeah, I grow my tomatoes also in the greenhouse because I haven't got soil. It's just a concrete base on those. I think they're like hose lock, big grow bag trays which pierce the bottom of the grow bag, and then you grow in the grow bag. You can use those halos in the grow bag as well if you want, but then it sucks all the moisture up from the water reservoir underneath. That might be quite useful for you, Annie.
Yeah, I've seen those, and I think it was on your channel. And I also think Freddie's allotment, he has one as well.
Yeah, they're good because again, you can go away for a week or.
But the only problem is that they have to be connected to a hose pipe, though, don't they?
Well, you can pour water in via a hose, via a hole that's there, or you can connect a hose pipe, yeah.
Jane Locke's been a member to my channel for 13 months. Can you believe it? 13 months this man has been loyal to me. Well done, Locke.
Do I even get a like, Locke? Do I even get a thumbs up? No.
Yes, you do.
On your channel, yes.
Hey,
Locke. It's not personal.
Locke, honest to God, if the amount of time she goes on and on about this, honestly.
I'll be crying later. Oh.
What, Annie, let's talk about something that you love the most as well. And then we'll go on to you and Mia, because I feel like you're in the corner there. And
that's fine.
Annie, what would you... I asked you for your greenhouse pictures because, you know, I love your greenhouse. And it's sage as well. I think that's lovely on the fig and olive plot. I just think...
It's wood,
Annie, that's a wooden one as well, isn't it?
It is. It's
Oh.
by Swallow. It's called a kingfisher,
Lovely.
and it's 8 by
He should.
6. Yeah, 8 by 6. So it's quite big.
Mm.
Oh God, someone
There's
just said
that
I
sort of
should.
classic look to it. It's lovely, isn't it? Lovely
Yeah.
colour.
That is nice.
I watch a few channels that they've got like little home gardens and stuff as well, and one of my favorite ones, she's got one as well, just like that wooden. But I think yours looks really inviting as a greenhouse. It does, it doesn't just look like it's got a purpose. It actually looks like you want to go in there,
Yeah, like you want to spend time in it. Yeah, I agree.
It dominates my garden, and when I'm sitting in my dining room, that's the first thing you see. Now, before I had that, I had one of those green plastic polytunnels, and it was just so ugly to look at from the house. So I thought, if I'm going to have a greenhouse at all, I might as well get something that looks nice, because it's my home garden. So that's why I invested in it. If I was gardening on an allotment site, or if I had a huge garden with a vegetable plot down the bottom, then I'd just go for the typical aluminium style greenhouse. But it's not a big garden, and because it dominates, it's got to look nice, or that's my opinion. That was the reason why.
Mia, let's talk about you. Because Lisa Skilton's saying, Danny is chatting too much, definitely give Amir a chance. And Lisa, I can put you in timeout as well,
For me, it has to be
always-
the hoe. The
Go
hoe,
on.
to be honest, a hoe. Because
Amir.
they're not just for like digging trenches, but you can use them to like skim the surface, like skim the weeds off the surface. So I do find, definitely get the hoes that I use get a lot of use.
You've got like a Chillington hoe, haven't you, Amir?
Yeah, like a Chillington one. That's right.
Similar to this
Yeah.
one, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
had to
this
use
one
this
has,
picture. This is actually Amir's Chillington hoe. It's never been used. There's not an ounce of lead on it. He keeps
How
it
big
in a
is it?
clinical. It's
No,
quite-
this one's quite small. This
Looks
one
like
is
a pickaxe.
yeah, it is a bit. This one's a bit like a pickaxe. It is quite small, but what I like about it is like you can turn it over the other side, and it's good for drills in the soil. But also you can get one with like just a pointed edge on the other side, and so that you can literally. It's so easy to use, and it's brilliant when you're sowing like seeds and carrots. Yeah. I find it's really useful. So gets a lot of use on my plot. There's that, and the bigger one as well, the Chillington hoe, which is.
Are they also called cultivators?
I think so. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have different names.
I was looking at those, Amir, when I seen on your channel, because I think they would be really good for me to take my bark up off my paths. And then I thought, then I've got one, but I haven't got one similar to that. I've got one that clicks on my Wolf Garden handle. And it's got like prongs on the one side, but I do like I know Malcolm Kingswell, he's got like a Chillington hoe, and he rates it so well as like, especially when you want to dig trenches and things like that. But I mainly no dig now, so I keep thinking I need these things, and then I remember I bought the Wolf Garden cultivator thing, that rotivate sort of this, and then I used it once when I was turning a bed into a no dig, and then realised then I'm never going to use it ever again. So it was like 40 odd pounds down the drain. So if anyone's got a Wolf Garden and they dig, let me know, and you can bloody well have it. It's just there.
That's the thing with the multiple blades, isn't it? You push it along.
Yeah. Chris,
it's a bit like a mini rotivator.
Like a tiller.
It's like a tiller, but I'm a no-till.
Yeah.
So
like most people, it seems these days.
Yeah.
Not everyone, of course.
You should raffle it, Danny.
Annie, I'd give it away, honestly. I would give it away. Because and I tell you what, it's a death trap. If you walk into it, honestly, you could lose a toe.
Have you ever walked onto a rake the wrong way up and it's actually
I've done
like
that.
Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
I've done that. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Comedic style.
Yeah, but it's like it's waiting for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm quite conscious now about that, Lisa. I'm starting to think then perhaps I shouldn't. Oh, Lisa said she uses Wolf Garden stuff. Well, Lisa, you're definitely not having it. Anyone else apart from Lisa can have that. Apart from Lisa. So anyone else? What else? I don't know what other gadgets we want to talk about now. I got loads.
I've got a gadget instead of a hori.
Oh, you got. Oh.
Everyone's going to go nerdy, but I find this so much use. It's just strapped to my belt all the time, and use it for cutting string, cutting plastic, cutting plants. It takes the place, So I have a trowel and this. I sort of have the two rather than the hori. But yeah, I swear by a Swiss Army knife. Really useful. And they have a saw on them if you get that one, and blades and stuff.
Nail clippers.
Stella's
Nail
vegetable-
clippers.
Stella's
Cuddly
vegetable
toy.
gardens have said, "I'll have it, please, Stella. Stella, send me a message and we'll arrange it. You can bloody well have it." It's just it's
someone's
just
got Simplified Gardening. Yeah, Leatherman. Yeah, they're quite good tools, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of little knives and stuff there, but they're those things in there. You look around and I lose them all the time.
Yeah.
I lose, little pen knives.
You have a little pouch on your belt or something like that, and then you'll never lose it. The thing with this is also you can carry it down the high street, and you can't be arrested for it in the UK. There's a 3-inch blade limit, which you can't, and it collapses. So in theory, you can carry this around with you all the time.
It's not a flick knife, is it?
No, it's not an offensive weapon. Yeah.
No, like the hori.
Like the hori.
Right, there's a bidding war going on now for this blooming tiller thing. I offered to buy it from you. So, hey, if you offered to buy it off me, sorry, Stella, you're out, Liv. I got bills to pay. No, so Lynn has asked. I've got one too, Danny. So you don't need it. But what are the Wolf Garden attachments? Do anyone else use Wolf Garden attachments? I know Jane's going to say no.
No.
I'm not sure. Do those things with attachments, are they actually that strong? I always get the feeling they're just going to break at some point.
No.
Come apart or something.
I have had mine now for about 3 years. Every single thing has never broke, never worn or nothing. I generally, they are expensive, but they save so much space as well. I've got one handle now and a few attachments for a trowel and a little mini fork and things like that. But I would say, if I'm not using a long-handled, I use the brush attachment all the time, and I also use the short-handled Wolf Garden, which I add my trowel and my little mini fork, and so there's loads of different attachments. I'm really tempted to buy the net, but they're so expensive. So the net is like £40 to buy a net, just a net, and
to net what?
Just to net the leaves out of the pond. So I can't justify spending £40 at the moment on netting some leaves out of the garden, And Jane's probably thinking you could use an old pair of blooming tights, but
get your hands in there.
That's the thing. I thinking, yeah. Someone else has said container-wise trays. Again,
they're really good. I love container-wise trays. Last a lifetime.
And they generally do. Like people, there's a reason why all YouTubers go on about it. And we don't make no money off them plugging those, but they generally are like your gardener's best friend, because your plot looks everything's neat and tidy. Everything's got its own space. I just had another order come through now this week, and I remember saying to Jane, and she was just like, "Why?" But I don't need any more. But I did, because I was thinking, well, they could be longer. So, and I wrote a list last year of what ones I used the most of, and my favourite one is the 15 one, which is about 2.5 inches squared, and they're perfect for brassicas and things like that. You
can get some quite long, deep ones, can't you? Good for growing peas and beans.
That's the bad boys I bought this week.
They're good. I've got some of those.
So I bought the 15 ones, but they're longer as well. So I thought. And beans are really important in my garden. They're like my main thing, so they can live wherever they want to live.
I'm trying. Sorry, Jane. Go on. Sorry, Jane.
No, I will agree with the container-wise. I think we've got 3 trays, but I like the fact that you've got that big hole at the bottom, so you can lift the plants up easier. That was the thing. Yeah. That was the thing for me. So I do agree with them, and they're not gadgets.
They're tough, aren't they? They're going to last for ages. I wouldn't buy those silly things you get in the garden centre, which are all crinkly and soft.
They're the worst.
Just plastic pollution, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever tried the? Are we allowed to mention Charles's trays?
Yeah.
The little tiny ones, 60s, I think they are. I've got some of those.
What do you think about it, Chris?
Huh? Sorry.
What do you think about them?
I really like them. Yeah, I think they're good. And I'm trying to cut down the amount of compost that I use. It's just so expensive, isn't it? And also getting stuff that's fine. So I'm trying to plant more in the ground, but they're quite good. You don't use a lot of compost, and there's a huge number of seeds actually which you can multi-sow, and so you can put 2 or 3 in there. When they're big enough, pop them out in the ground. So I quite like them. It's just getting your finger in that little hole.
They're quite fiddly. That's
a bit of a problem.
I found the Charles Downing ones. I think I grew snapdragons in them last year, and they worked okay. But I just think they're one of those things. I just think they're okay if you're going to be potting on very quick and you've got a lot of time. But I find they dry out quite a lot. The little small.
That's the main thing. Yeah,
ones.
they
That's
dry
the
out
thing.
quick.
Yeah.
Stella, I've just seen on there. I was only joking. If you want that tiller thing, my love, you can have it. You was the first one. I think you was the first anyway. But if not, I'm sorry to everyone else. But Stella's having it. I put my foot down. Stella, if you damage a toe on it, mind you, don't come back to me because they are dangerous.
Doesn't look like Mr. Digwell doesn't like the CD60s then. Not a fan, huh? He's just in the comments.
That man will whinge about anything, let me tell you now. If I could show you a clip, right? Literally, a clip on this live about 3 weeks ago when he said, I don't use grow lights. I don't use them. And what he just did a video on? Grow lights.
Steve.
You converted him, perhaps, Danny.
No, he's a sellout, that man is. Let me tell you, though, sellout. As soon as they threw it at, he said he did it on purpose, I reckon. They were listening.
So what would anyone, are there any dream gadgets anyone really out of you lot wished you had but haven't got?
Oh, yeah. Jane, what would I love, Jane?
What have you done?
I would love a polycrub. I keep going on about it all.
I know.
Oh, golly.
Just honestly, why? If you suffer with wind, they're good. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. But really, aren't they just the next fashionable thing? Don't get me on my soapbox. It's just, oh, come on, we all need to polycrop. And then in a few years' time, it'll be, oh, we need something else instead. It's just, they're just
expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're ridiculously expensive. But and really,
beautiful.
Why are they beautiful? They're just polycarbonate sheeting, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just, you know.
No, I'm with Danny. I'm afraid.
Well, of course you are.
Yeah, no, I definitely
look nice on your plots.
Polycrub are watching. We'd all love one. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
People are saying the same about polytunnel. Now you've got a polytunnel.
No, I'm with Jane on this. Absolutely.
So polycrub, if you ever watch this, never send Jane Kelly one. She definitely doesn't want one.
I think I need convincing. So I'm always in for a trial. Yeah, and I'll see what I think. Yeah. No, I think there are things that are just like passing trends, even in gardening. And I can't see how it's going to be that much better than a polytunnel, unless you've got a lot of wind or storms.
I think for you, Jane, if you've got your chickens as well, the chickens can go in there as well, rather than a plastic polytunnel.
Did you see what the chickens did to her last polytunnel? Honest to God. It was like the Wild West. It was like the Wild. You didn't put them in there this year, I noticed.
No, I know. I said never again. But yeah, I don't know. So I think, but good luck to you. If you want one, get one.
Polycrub, send me a polycrub. I'm fine with it. Amia, let's talk about your muffin. Let's talk about your muffin tin. Amia.
Oh, do you know, after this, I've not been allowed in the kitchen anymore, to be honest.
No.
Because I keep taking things keep going missing in my kitchen because I literally, I'm always taking things out of the kitchen.
Amia, that looks like a TK Maxx one as well. That's not a BM Bargains one, I know.
You'll have to ask the missus where she got it from. I just found it.
I'm telling you now, I know a TK Maxx muffin tin if I see one. So tell us what you do here, Mia.
It's just really simple. Just prepare the soil and use the bottom to create these indentations in the soil, and then you can sow in them. And to be honest, I've done this with coriander and it's been brilliant because they start growing in bunches and you can pick them in bunches.
I love that.
We've got really good soil as well, by the way, so it is easy. But you can just do that. It's something so simple, but especially if you like to sow in neat rows, you can miss one. If you wanted to give things a bit more space, you can miss one and sow in the next and then leave gaps. But I just find it so useful, so useful.
Imagine
Yeah.
half doing half a job and then leaving, and then people walk past and go, "What the hell are they doing there?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's all
Yeah.
that Lego
that's
doing there?"
brilliant. That is brilliant. Yeah.
Isn't that clever, Jane?
Yeah, I do. I like that. I do like
That's
a hack.
That's a good
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gadget.
do like a hat.
Simple hack, but yeah,
Hack.
it's useful. Especially
Jane,
if
there's a
people
picture-
like sewing
Go
in
on.
straight lines.
It is quite a clever hat. I would like a smaller muffin hole, so maybe I'll try and find a mini muffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like that, Amia, when you posted it. Jane,
Yes.
you look like you're getting distracted there. So
Oh,
so should I
no,
tell you
'cause
some of?
I'm reading the chat. I've got to go like that
Oh.
to read the chat.
So should I tell you some of the things that people also? Because I asked viewers as well to input in. So if you are on my Instagram, if you're not, pop over to everyone else's. But pop over because I do interact on it every single day by posting a picture and I ask questionnaires and things, and they really do influence sometimes the videos I do because I ask questions. You know, I like to be interactive with the viewers. So someone said that they hated this. I really should get. So this is a really good Instagram account as well. So I'm plugging them here. So Dad and Son Allotment, they're really good. Is anyone following them on Instagram? If you're not, you should.
Yeah.
They said that they love this daisy grabber.
Oh, yeah. I've got one of those there.
That looks like a posh thing, doesn't it? Looks like I got one of them, but I think this is when I get the meat out the kitchen, Annie. You know when you get the meat out of the oven?
Good on the barbecue.
I think I got 2 of them for that. So maybe I'll just use that. And then they also said that this is the biggest waste of space in their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plus
I think it's for a home grower, but if you're commercial, I could see where it might be useful.
Yeah.
But,
Chris, do you want to explain what this is, just in case anyone looks at it and thinks it's a fancy staple gun?
well, I get in that sort of round bit on the end of the handle, you get some plastic tape. It's usually green. I mean, if you could buy a clematis from the garden centre or something, you'll see these sort of plastic wraps around it, which are stapled on one side. Well, this basically does that. So you squeeze the handle and the top bit drops down, picks up the tape, pulls it out, and then you push the plant into that gap and then close it and staple it, and basically then it leaves this tight bit of plastic around the plant stem and the stake, cane or something like that, and holds it in place. So it can be really good. But when I used them on the nurseries, when I worked on the nurseries, they break and all the time, you know, they're just frustrating to use. But yeah,
I've got something equivalently bad.
Go on.
Equivalent bad to that.
Yeah.
And I bet you've got one, Danny. Almost, in fact, almost as bad as that. Those little things that you'd have to type your labels in with. And you pay, I don't know what they're called, but you buy the stuff, you buy the machine, you have to set it up.
Turn it.
You pick up the pen. Pick up the pen. It's quicker. It's easier. It's a heck of a lot cheaper. And people are paying a fortune. And for me, that when I say I'm not for gadgets, have you got one?
I bought one because I put them on you.
right, yeah.
So this is one of the gadgets I think that people should invest in. Is one of these.
That's really good. Yeah,
I've dumped
I love
mine.
mine.
Yeah.
Have you?
You what? You dumped it.
I've dumped it. Yeah, I find them so annoying. You can't see what's in there. Then you run out of space for what's in there, and you can't then get enough. Then you have to get another box. I've sort of, I like doing everything in A to Z, and
this is number 3. This is number 3. This is. I got one for Ali. I got one for Ali seeds. All Ali seeds. Ali, thank you very much. I had your parcel come through the post yesterday. I got a massive array of seeds again for this year, so thank you very much for sending those. I was a little bit anxious, so I'm going to get any this year. But I agree.
Danny, what happened to the elephant garlic?
Oh, good on you,
Annie, if you remember my emails, I did send you one saying, I'm really sorry about the elephant garlic. However, I was going to redeem myself by sending some Brad to Tomit. Remember?
Yeah, where are they?
Annie, I'm going to be really honest with you. I haven't sent them, but I specifically bought you fresh seed because I didn't want you to not. I specifically bought them for you. I did.
Aww.
I didn't want you to have dead seed, and then I think you've missed out on the opportunity. So they are on their way for you.
Annie, do you want to ask Danny where my little piece of glass is for my shed?
But yeah,
That's a year ago. It's a year ago.
happy anniversary. I know. It's sending those blooming things. I really
It's been
should.
to the post office with you several times, Danny.
I wish I could show you my whiteboard here, right? And it even says on there, send Annie Brad's Atomic. It says on there. It also says send Jane and Gemma and Jane tomatoes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
How can I do this? Hang on.
Does it say, what about my little bit of glass? I'm
hang on, my
shivering in
balls
that shed.
Oh, I've lost a bloody net now.
Oh no.
Right. Danny's off air.
Annie,
I'm gonna have to go off air a minute. Hang on, you lot.
Are you still coming here, Danny?
It worked.
Right, now we've got rid of him. What should we talk about? Annie, you're the host by the looks of it. You're the biggest.
Yeah.
I haven't seen your channel before, Annie. I must go and check it out. I guess there'll be a
thank
link to it. But your garden looks amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Danny mentioned about me drinking coffee. So what's your go-to drink when you're gardening?
Well, I'd love to have one of those little cookers down the plot and make a hot chocolate. That would be my best one.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
What
I
about
haven't
you,
got a cooker
Amir?
down there.
Yeah, coffee as well. I always take my flask. Yeah. Always.
Jane?
I'd water because I tend to. Yeah,
Coffee.
just well, it's not
Is it
even
water or
that,
is it vodka?
but if I'm working, I
Right,
tend
I'm
to
bloody
want something
back.
refreshing. So
God,
all right, go on.
turn off your own live.
It's
I
all right.
don't know.
You
We were
didn't
getting
miss
on
much,
fine
Danny.
without you, Danny.
I could hear you all anyway.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm shocked that you haven't got yourself a little cooker or.
Well, my shed is so full of junk. I've got to turn it into one of these lovely sheds where everyone goes in. They got a place to sit and have coffee.
Like
and
Jane
biscuits.
Kelly's got.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a shed like that, but no, it's just full of junk.
Now, Danny.
Go on,
Danny,
Jane.
right, okay. So, like, I don't know, 4
I know what
feet
you're going to
away,
say.
across the bottom of that lovely stained glass window.
That's your
And
air
it's all-
conditioning.
It's the point into the corner that I tactfully cut off this picture because I knew it would upset you.
Don't upset me.
That's where the gap is.
That looks like a proper shed.
Oh, it's a good shed.
That-
It is
yeah.
a good shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only allowed one of those tiny little, is it 6x3 or not even that? Yeah, basically.
I love your
Some people-
baskets, Jane. Where do you source them from?
Oh, just anywhere and everywhere. That one on the left, actually, that's like the planks, if you like. I've had that one about 25 years.
Have you?
And it's broken now. I need to patch it up. One of the slats is broken, but I just love it. But this was one of my gadgets. This was one of my choices. Any sort of basket or trug or anything for not just for harvesting, but for putting my tools in. If I'm going to one end of the allotment or whatever, something to carry stuff in. And that's
do you use all
one
of
my
those,
things.
or are they some of those just decorative?
No. Everything gets used. It all
That's
gets
brilliant.
used. Yeah.
I love
Reminds me
Annie,
of Danny's trug habit. Yeah.
Right. Annie, I can hook you up with a couple of I got a few truggies.
Drug dealers.
I got a few trug dealers, Annie. And I look at this one, Annie. This is one of my favourites. Look at that basket.
Oh,
That's the runner
That's
bean
nice.
and garlic basket. So I have different versions. This is my other one that I love, which I've showed you.
Yeah.
Joe, I need to try to say thanks to Joe Patch as well, because he gave a lovely donation the other day, and he said it was spent on lem sips and things. But I put it towards a new trug because I needed another one. So I bought a tiny, small basket one ready for. What will that be? I think that's going to be the plum basket. I do like. I'm a truggy, honestly. I'm a trug
But
addict.
they're useful. They are useful, though.
They're so useful.
Different shapes for different things, like you say. So I've got a tiny little basket for berries or eggs. And the bigger basket, like I've got a big flat one. There we go. That one. I
Look at me on cue.
but do you skip with them?
I
That's a good
could
basket.
do. I could skip. Do you want to mention the other thing on there, Danny?
I like your apron.
Jane, I'm not. I
Sorry, Randy.
refuse. I absolutely refuse to talk about this bloody. It is, I'm not joking, right? It, to me, is the biggest headache of my life, this video. Every time I click on YouTube, you know when it says suggested, I don't know if it feels sorry for Jane Kelly, right? But this is suggested to me every time to watch Jane Kelly make an egg basket and apron thing. So I thought, after about a year of seeing this, I thought, you know, if I watch it, it'll stop suggesting me. No, it's still there. It is still there. It's like
it's a harvesting apron. It's an
but Jane, that's one of your highest viewed videos, isn't it?
I know, it's a shame, and it's not.
You know why, don't you? Because it keeps suggesting it to people. That's why.
It is a good apron, Annie. It's really good because
it looks it.
The little bow on the waistband there, you put them in like pockets, so you're collecting your thing, and then you untie the bow, the apron falls open, and all your goods fall into the basket or whatever you're putting them in. So
I wonder,
yeah,
am I off key saying that's a sort of a ladies?
Yeah, no.
Or do many men wear
I don't know. I reckon Amia could pull one of them off.
Don't diss the apron. Yeah, don't diss the I'm partial to an apron.
Bloody lovely in that.
A melon apron.
And let me tell you,
Danny,
you'd never get a speck of dirt on it, Amia.
Danny.
Paid actor. Paid actor.
Oh, paid actor, yeah.
Jean's asking for the pattern. So I'm just wondering.
Do you know what? You know what? I'll put a link to the video in this
You
line.
don't have to.
You owe it to her, definitely.
I'll have to make one.
Oh dear. Oh, it is that easy. It's easy.
Stephen,
you
just
make it out sort of macho khaki green sort of army patterning stuff. I might wear one.
Yeah.
Mark said, I'm sure my nana had one like that. She probably watched bloody Jane Kelly's video, I expect. It's got about 15,000 views. All were me.
Oh, were you clicking on and off?
I even started a new account to try and get rid of this plague, but it's still there. Honestly, I actually hate the video because it just stays there, you know. And I don't know why. I never talk about harvesting eggs.
It's not eggs. It's not for eggs. You can
make
them for eggs. It's for apples, for beans, for anything potatoes, anything that you need a large capacity. And you can use both hands to pick things with or put things up with.
You could have a large sporran, Danny.
Yeah, you could have a sporran.
Large
sporran. That's a really good idea.
Except he's Welsh.
I don't even know what a blooming...
You know what a sporran is.
I'm not bloody wearing nothing. Let me tell you that they tried to... After one of these lives the one night, Jane and blooming Linda were trying to encourage me to wear a blooming long woman's wig on one of my videos. This is what I have to put up with, honestly. Jane, let's go on to the... Go on.
I was going to say, if you fill up that apron with potatoes, do you then walk home with this sort of heavy weight of waddle?
It is quite heavy with potatoes.
God.
Dangling around your knees, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Jane, did you think when you made that video it would be as popular as you thought?
No.
Neither did I. I've watched it. It was a bloody terrible video.
You just don't know, though, do you? You don't know.
No, you just... The videos that you rush will always become the best ones. Jane, let's have a look at this corner as well. Isn't this lovely?
It's still in your shed.
We do like
it.
Yeah.
No, she lives there. This is her house. She's one of the Waltons.
Some posh windows.
That's the potty under the table.
Yeah. What's that gadget?
But those windows, they were just like,
Jane,
we've had them for years, and they just found
I'd like to say, Jane, though, I do feel that I did inspire you a bit for this shed.
Do you?
Remember when I did? Yeah, because I remember the conversation where I said, Jane, you should do your shed up and that'd be a good video. And then you never gave me credit for that. And it was a week after I did this. Yeah. Mine's not as posh as hers, but I've got my little kitchen there now.
A little
nice window.
That's the sort of gadget that I think your tap. What's going on with that?
That's a good gadget. You charge it up every 6 months via a USB, and
you have to fill the water underneath.
Yeah.
So while you're filling the water underneath, you could have just gone to fill your kettle. Or I just don't get it.
No. I don't use it for that, Jane. I use
just
it
for washing hands.
When I wash the dishes or washing my hands. Because you can't be there with a jug pouring it over your hands trying to wash. You know, Linda's got a little setup on hers as well. She's got like this little drink dispenser. She says it's to wash her hands, but I think it's going to be full of alcohol by the summer. I can see it already. I know what this woman's like, honestly.
Oh,
You've got a skillet
Linda.
in there as well, hanging up or something like that. Do you cook in your shed?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a log
Oh,
burner.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I now realise you don't watch my channel at all.
I haven't watched all your videos, no, but I mean, I know you've got a little stove in there, but
I cook breakfast in there, pork steaks, rice, you name it, things from the garden. You know,
your plot's fantastic, isn't it? We're not allowed a shed bigger than that. We're not allowed. We're not allowed open fires. We're not allowed. You know, can't do anything.
But sometimes though, I just sit there and I just think, I could be doing this at home. You know, I could be cooking my dinner at home, or I could be reading a book at home. But I like the idea that you can be at the plot from the house. You know, it's a completely different thing. Wendy Barry says, I copied your kitchen, Daniel. Thank you to Wendy. I'm glad that I'm an inspiration to someone.
You did inspire
Not Jane
me.
Kelly.
No, you did inspire me with the tent stove.
I think when you cook up the allotment, you're in a different headspace, aren't you?
Yeah, and I haven't got to go home
absolutely.
I don't leave that headspace then. I don't have to leave, and that's the thing. Sometimes you know what it's like. You can be at the plot, especially in spring. And Annie, I'm sure you're the same. Even though you're the house quite close by, you've said in the past, you know, your summer house is just like an escape from that area, and you can just stay, you know. And that's one of those things. That's why I've got like the solar irrigation in there, and the solar lights, and the solar battery. I can plug anything in. I can charge my laptop. That's why, you know, like I can pop out. Look at it. It's like Jurassic Park. It's like an aircraft.
It's amazing.
And I mean, I can see anything in the dark. I can do plot at night videos. I mean, I just think is boys and their toys. But the best, and I've showed this before as well. Like this is another thing that I've got about as well, is having one of these power banks and things as well. And it's not just good for the plot. I've used it in power cuts as well, and helping friends when they am going to power in their homes and stuff as well. So, you know, I think there is a gadget for everything. I don't think you need to buy them all, and I don't think it makes you a better gardener. I just think it makes your gardening a little bit easier, you know. And there's some of the things I have, you know, I just think I bought it just because. And, you know, like my little truggy thing, you know, like my little trug on wheels. I couldn't be without that, going back and forth the plots, you know, from one to the other. But, you know, I just
can you walk to your allotment from your house? Is your house really close?
Yeah. It's probably about 5 minutes walk, 1 minute drive, something like that. So it's not far from the house, but it's the little things. Like it's not about I could pop home or I could go home and have a lunch. It's sometimes, you know, like you said, Annie, is that you're in that headspace, and I'm gardening, and I think I don't want to go home, and because once you go home, you get into that lull. Then I think, do I really? But when I'm over there, I sometimes I put things slowly cooking on, and I just carry on gardening, and I'll have some lunch in the garden space. And I told a few of my friends that if any of you ever visit, you don't think that you'll be coming to my home to have food or anything like that. Like, that's where I am for the day. So I've had friends come and visit, and in spring and summer now, if they come and visit me, you know, I've got friends who haven't even been to my house for 2 years now, because I invite them to the plot. They can take some produce home. We have lunch as well there as well. And it's a nice experience. That's where my family all meet up there as well. It's like a family thing as well. You know, they come down and the children get involved and all. I just think it's not just my place, you know.
We're the same.
Yeah, it becomes an allotment. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle, and I swear by that. You know,
I think you get the same feeling down the allotments you do if you're camping. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Especially with my
definitely can feel like an extension of your home. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I probably spend more time in the allotment than in my home. I sleep at home, and I think, you know, through the spring and summer, if I'm not socializing with friends or, you know, non-garden related, I'm at the plot, and it's just part of your life, isn't it? It's not.
I also think that when you're gardening, whether you're in, like I'm in my garden or you're down the allotment, that space gets a better version of you, because that version of you is not stressing out, worrying about everyday issues. You're just concentrating on what you're cultivating, what you're producing, and it's completely different, isn't it? It's such a stress buster.
Do you switch off or do you think about things when you're gardening? Because I was talking to a
Completely
friend of
switch
mine and
off.
they said all they do is think about other things when they're gardening. I said,
No.
I can't think about anything.
I just think about what I'm doing.
Mm.
I just get totally absorbed in the garden.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's what it's for, isn't it? I watched a really good video by a new YouTuber, or I don't know how new he is, but he was on yesterday. He was talking about an article in the Telegraph, which had been written to do that urban gardens and urban gardening is actually worse for the planet than growing your food from wholesale big farmers and so on. But then he pulled that all apart, and it was really interesting little video. I can't quite remember it was.
Yeah.
It was fascinating because actually the Telegraph had twisted it around a bit and not published it fully. And actually the guy who wrote this PhD thesis or something like that was saying a lot more. But yeah, the point I was making is that gardening can reduce a whole range of things, and it's all to do with stress, isn't it, and where you are, you know. So a lot of people don't end up in hospital because they're spending time relaxing in the garden, you know. They're not so stressed. There's all this whole range of
just touching
benefits.
The soil is therapeutic. I don't like wearing gardening gloves.
I'm exactly the same, Annie. Even though afterwards I think, God, I got to nail brush my fingers now, and I find it so hard to put gloves on. I put gloves on if I'm doing things that I think quite mucky, you know. But you'll never see me on my channel with gloves on, putting plants and stuff. I like putting my hands in that soil, and you know what? Before I had the allotment, I used to suffer really, really. As confident as I am, I used to suffer really, really bad with anxiety, really bad, like panic attacks. And then over the last 3-4 years, I don't have anxiety. Very rare now, you know, and unless it's something, but you know,
they say, don't
happening.
They say about getting your hands in the soil that there's a lot of bacteria in the soil, and that actually we breathe it in when we're gardening. And children, when they play in the mud and all that stuff, they're breathing all this in, and actually it's really good for us and our inner gut biome and stuff, you know.
That's what we're meant to be doing, isn't it? We're not supposed to be in 4 walls made of concrete and brick and surrounded by electrical equipment. Well, I know Danny does, but you know what I mean.
Like Danny said. I know what I know you're about to say, Jay, not you. Yeah.
That's a log cabin I'll have, you know. There's no concrete there at all.
But it's not a natural life that we live, is it? We chase after the clock the whole time. Everything we're doing is scheduled.
Disinfected,
I think we're also programmed to conform and do these things and become more really robotic. And I don't do overtime in work, and it's not that I don't think that money could really benefit me or I could spend it on other things. I balance everything out in life, and everything has to. If I do one thing over another thing, you see a drastic change in things like my mood and everything. And I like to try and keep a healthy balance. And for me, for my anxiety and for everything else, gardening is always the biggest priority in my life, and that's pretty much. Whether or not it'll change one day, but for now, I know for a fact that I look forward to going over the garden, and that's why I speak to like-minded people, plus Steve Digwell. But you know, that's a charity issue. But we all enjoy the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do these lives at the start as well, because I felt like we were all divided, and I never understood that. I never understood why we all got the same passion. We all got similar channels, you know, some better than others, like mine. No, but we've all got the same hobbies and stuff. So why would we want to be all
You'll
separate
get better with time, Danny.
I know. I'll get it when my level. I'm hoping one day I'll get to Jane Kelly's level. That's my level.
That's very low. Very low.
But what's really nice as well is that allotments are really starting to become popular amongst the younger generation as well now. So it's not just an old man thing, you know, like a lot of the younger gardeners. I mean, even around on our plot now, we're getting so many new allotmenteers, and they're a lot younger and taking time out of their busy lives to
well, they live a synthetic life, don't they?
No,
absolutely.
Totally synthetic life, and I suppose their generation, they've never been like us, where we used to play out in the streets for hours and hours and build dens and they've been cosseted for so long, and they're surrounded by
Mm.
electronic gadgets and that, and it's a new awakening for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to trigger Jane Kelly off, about Instagram gardeners. No, I'm not saying that about all Instagram gardeners, because I did have one message saying we're not all the same. We're not all the same. I did specifically say certain Instagram gardeners. I do think, but I also think YouTube is kind of like that sometimes as well. But you're right, Chris.
Yeah, water.
Chris,
Get the man some water.
Someone mute me. I
Daddy,
can't get
we need a
Daddy, you're a
nurse.
nurse. Daddy, you're a nurse. Help.
Right. Chris is actually on the floor now. Someone's giving him CPR.
Oh.
You need to drip feed.
Chris, let me know when you want to come back in.
Poor Chris.
But yeah, I think there's social media sometimes gardeners can portray themselves. All right, Chris, no worries.
Can I put it this way? Because I've been thinking a lot about this. I think if you think of a Venn diagram at school, right? The circles and some interlock and some.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So in one circle, you've got gardeners. In one circle, you've got.
Jane Kelly.
Just say. I could say YouTubers, but maybe social media people.
Yeah.
And then the bit where they cross in the middle, you've got YouTubers who garden or gardeners who YouTube. But not every gardener can do what the people in the YouTube circle, not everyone in the social media circle.
And you see that sometimes, don't you? You see sometimes they have such a huge following on Instagram, they think, oh, let's try YouTube, and they don't very much last, do they, Jane? Because they see it as they think it's going to be the same, and it's not the same. I think Instagram gardeners, I feel like they have it easier where how they post. They just post a picture or a little video.
Yeah.
But YouTube gardeners, good Lord, I'm not just saying it because I am one. We graft for those videos, don't we? You all know how much the editing, the filming, buying the equipment, and then you'll have Marge from Shrewsbury saying, well, I didn't like the way that you put our netting on. You think, well, what did you want, bloody Marge? Come round and do it, because I just spent 6 hours bloody filming and editing this. But
I hate netting. I always get tangled up in it.
I don't like it, but you've got it. It's a necessary evil for us.
It is.
To use it,
I do think netting is ugly, but I try to make netting as pretty as you can. That's as simple as I try and keep things.
How do you make netting pretty?
Just stickers
Jane
on it.
Kelly, have you not seen the Grapevine Garden? That netting is on to its life, as tight as see-through.
I don't watch any of that stuff. No, I don't watch any of that stuff.
You don't watch.
But another good, the little clamps that you use, Danny, they're really, really good as well.
Ooh.
And I do find the little clamps on your nets to hold them together.
I did have a picture of that. I don't
got
know
a
what
picture?
Well, I did.
I find
weirdly.
I find them really useful when you're on your own.
Oh,
and
you
you need those extra pair of hands.
Oh, Chris is back. Chris, are you okay now?
Oh no, Annie's gone.
That's all right.
Annie's still there.
Sorry.
Chris, you okay? That's all right.
I'm fine. I bet my wife's having a hissy fit going, what the hell's going on? I'm alive. I'm fine.
She just got the defib on him. Best gadget in the house.
Just popped out for a fag.
Yeah, these are the clips that I talk about.
That's it. Yeah.
There is different versions and things. So I do like these. These are the 6-inch. I think they're called like market stall clamps or things like that. And I think I pinched this idea from Malcolm Kingswell when I first started, and they're okay if you got 2-inch or 1-inch thick boards, raised beds. They're perfect. They keep the nets reeled down and you don't tend to have much trouble. And they keep them tight as well, the nets. But if you haven't, I cannot tell you a minute what I've done, but I've got a dilemma at the moment now on my plot, which I've tried to go back, feeling that I've progressed as a gardener, but now I'm suffering because I can't use these little clippy things.
You pick them up in DIY shops and stuff, and B&Q and stuff. Yeah, I've got some of those.
I think I bought these ones from eBay though, because I think it's cheaper. I think I remember a few years ago you could get them for like 50p each or something, but now they're about £1 each. But I probably own about 50 of them now over the time, because I bought another plot, so I had another plot, so I needed to double the amount I use.
I
They're
bought
not getting very
metal
good.
ones, and I really struggle. It takes 2 hands to try and open them up, and then you can't get them on the.
Bloody hell, Annie, you want to start growing more spinach?
They're not getting a very good shout in the chat.
Well,
Are you sure?
Like them.
Are you sure you're not using jump leads, Annie?
Yeah, Annie,
Maybe
you're using
handy.
the jump leads from the car. Why? What are they saying? What are they saying on the chat about these clips?
Mel
The
doesn't
really
like
cheap
them.
ones snap easy, don't
Yeah, they do, the cheaper ones.
No,
Nigel
Mel,
doesn't like them.
Mel, you buying 6 for £1 in the pound shop? Course ain't snapping
Oh,
these.
right.
I've had these for 3 years.
And they don't. Yeah. If you
They
go for
don't
good
snap
quality.
the way here.
No.
Just say,
No.
got them in the pound shop for 6. Yeah.
As
not
Tony
worth
C.
buying.
Smith says, buy once.
Yeah.
And that's
So
what he
which
said.
bit of that don't you understand, Danny? Which
Go
bit
on.
of that don't you understand? How many trays? How many trays?
And I'm
You
only
haven't
buying
just
them
bought-
once. I'm only buying them once.
Each time. Once each
because
time.
this year I'm putting staging on both sides, so I need more trays. So I've
Yeah,
got a
of
little.
course you do.
That's what I'm saying. I just
Excuse.
I just sat there and thought I could do with some of the deeper ones and things like that. And
Yeah.
I think I'll show on my next video. But I personally think that the container-wise ones, they were a genius to bring them out. I think we had a lot of us
I
had them
agree.
before container-wise were a thing. And I think again, I think it was Tony C. Smith. I think he put a link up about 2-3 years ago of this potato farmer in, I think it was Ireland, and they are either downsizing or they were, when they didn't want them anymore, they were selling them off quite cheap. And I think I had about 20 of them for about £30 of those trays, and that's how I started. I bought one box, and at the time I was giving a few out to other plot holders, and I wish I didn't know when I looked at the prices of them and all, because they're not cheap. They are about £6-7 and can be up to £10 a tray, but
They're an investment,
Chris,
though. They're
but
an
they
investment.
definitely
They don't
are an
last.
investment, and they
If
do
you are going to
last.
buy plastic, get something that's going to last.
Is
So-
everybody else counting down for the beginning of March?
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait to get started. It seems to have been such a long autumn stroke winter.
Have you planted anything yet? Sown anything yet?
Well, I've overwintered my alliums and I've got broad beans in that I put in November. I think it was end of October, November. But I haven't really done anything else. I've got some spare onions and peas and broad beans in the greenhouse, but they're just backups.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to need them, so I should give them away.
Annie, have you
I haven't
seen
really got started this year yet.
Have you seen these new This is the only. I'm not trying to plug these now, but this is the only picture I had. But have you seen these? And they'll match your greenhouse perfectly, Annie.
Go on.
Is these from Grow Local?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Great
Annie, they'll match your greenhouse. Let me show you one now. I've got some Monge 2 in this one. Look at them here.
oh, they're nice, aren't they?
But they're really deep, the trays. I think I showed them last week. I'm just giving an update on them.
They're the root trainers which pop open,
Excuse
aren't they?
me, I
they
was
pop.
in Egypt last week, so I didn't see it.
Well, they pop.
It's no excuse, Annie.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Annie, there's no excuse. They
They
pop
got
open like
Wi-Fi,
this,
maybe.
Annie. So they're similar to us, but they're hard. They're about, and then you can clip them open as well, so that they're good for like
It
runner
is, Annie.
beans and sweet peas and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
And
but they
Danny,
yeah, go on.
how much was the postage?
No, I didn't pay the postage on them.
Can you get them on Amazon?
No, Annie, I'll send you a link.
Will you? Thank
I got an
you.
affiliate link. Thanks, Annie. They do a shorter one as well, Annie, similar to that for like lettuces and things. And then they also do another one which you can pay like an extra £1 or so, and they've got like a reservoir underneath, so you can water them and then they can wick through. But
that'd
there's
be
three
good for
different
sweet
versions.
peas then.
These ones are perfect for sweet peas. These
Yeah.
deeper ones,
Yeah.
because they come in the box and they also come with the plastic lid on the top as well.
Are you a rep, Danny?
No, well, I have got
You're doing a really good job.
I have got an affiliate link for it, but
Fair enough.
I'm not telling you to use that affiliate. I'm not doing it for that reason. I generally, there's never been a time where I've plugged a product on my channel just because I thought, they're giving me something free. But I generally do rate those because, again, they're the really hard plastic and Plus, they match my raised beds outside on Annie's greenhouse. So that's
I was
the
thinking
reason
you've
why.
got those big birdie raised beds, are they? They're big
Yeah.
tall ones.
I finished my last one today.
Do they do a shorter one? Because I don't
Yeah.
often need all that much compost. I think it would
No.
be great if they did one that was about 8-12 inches tall.
I think the Giga do. So I'll send you a link to them as well because look at Tony saying Danny Oakland's have them. Well, I know Tony, but that's your link then, isn't it? Don't go to Oakland's because that's Tony's link.
Yeah, I've seen him plug them a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Giga, I know they do like I think it's maybe like a 10-inch deep raised bed, and I want some of those to go around my asparagus. That's kind of what I want. So. Oh, excuse me, I've got a dog wanting to go out. Go on.
Has he run out of biscuits? He's run out of biscuits.
You go down the kitchen and finish them off there now. But yeah, let me tell you now, if Tony O'Neill to put a link for that in there, bloody remove it. I'll put my link in now. No, but Annie, they are very good for sweet peas and things like that because those other ones they do break after a while, and I'm not trying to plug a product. I'm trying to that. Once I buy it again now, I don't have to keep buying it again. And that's where I'm kind of going to that mentality because there's nothing worse than you think I'm buying this now, but I know in 2 years' time I got to buy it again. And those root trainer things, the flimsy ones, they are good, but they don't last.
Years, something like that. I don't know. Never used them, but.
Susie, that's cheap. That's cheap to what I paid. Danny knows all about it, and he's being very, very diplomatic. But don't get me started on postage.
Jane Kelly,
Can I?
No, you cannot, Jane
you.
Kelly.
No,
you do it on You Alive. You've turned the blooming. Last week it was last week we had who did we have? Who was ranting last week? Rachel was ranting last week, and now you ranting this week.
Postage, £13 postage. Not for Danny, not Danny. Danny's isn't that? That's not Danny's.
No, not mine.
That was another
Jane
place.
Kelly's.
It was
Jane.
no. I was shocked.
This is something about Jane Kelly, right? If you scorn her or she feels oh God. She goes on about it for months, but if you do it, oh no, she'll see the sun shining everywhere. Not until it's her. When it's not her,
It's true. No, it's out my system now.
Annie, have you got anything growing in the greenhouse now? I know you showed me some pictures, but I'm guessing this is from last year. Is this now?
No, that's last year. No, all I've got in the greenhouse at the moment are backup my broad beans, onions. I've got red and brown or white, whatever you want to call them, onions. And I've actually got a tray of peas, but they'll be going out in the garden the end of February. But they were all sown before Christmas.
Annie, these wooden trays that you got? I like them as well. Do you buy them or make them or?
Those wooden trays, my eldest boy that's the tree surgeon many years ago used to be a chef for Pizza Express, and they're dough trays.
They're lovely.
Yeah,
really
I
nice.
just clean them every year to keep them going.
They're wooden as well.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people that I know, not me, because I couldn't, but I've seen a few people, at Domino's pizzas, the big dough trays.
Yeah.
I know someone. It's not Linda. There's someone on our site got a pile of them because I think one of their relatives.
Sometimes when I take a shot in the greenhouse, you can actually see it says on there it's embossed Pizza Express. But that's where they're from, and I've only got 2 of them.
They are. You paint them as well, though, don't you, Annie?
I paint them every year just to keep them nice.
I think, Amia, you could do a nice little woodworking video about them, making some nice seed trays. No sawdust, no dirt. Just you, pre-made.
And the sunshine.
And the
Yeah, and the
sunshine,
sunshine,
robin, a bird.
Yeah.
I think what I like about them as well, they're kind of laminated at the base. So although I
Oh,
stack
nice.
my trays in them, if the water does run through, it doesn't rot the base.
Annie, I really do think I might be investing in one of these greenhouses. You know, they are. I like the little mini ones as well, though. I like the really tiny ones, like a posh cold frame. I think that'd look nice on the fig and olive as well, but maybe next year.
Do you use those? I quite often see them. People put them outside their back door. They'll have like a lid, and you grow things really quite high. What's the word for them?
It's like a tall cold frame, isn't it? Almost
Salad thing.
I think Bethan's got one. She was on last week, and
perhaps someone in that can put it in the comments or something if they know.
Yeah, it's like a cold, but it's got 2 doors at the front as well, and then like a little lifty
it's
thing.
like a
At
half
It's more like
it?
you lift up the whole lid, and it holds water in it. It's big. I can't remember the name, but I don't use
Holds
one. I wonder if
water?
anyone uses them. I think you can put water underneath.
Really?
I can't remember the name. Yeah,
I
it's a bit
think.
like having a massive raised bed next to, high one next to your back door sort of thing.
Oh, do you mean like the not the veg truck, but I think Muddy Boots, he's got like a
Yeah, a bit like a veg truck, yeah.
But he's got like a plastic one, and it holds water and all in it, and they put perlite and all in it.
Pod.
The veggie pod.
Veggie pod.
Yeah, it might be something like that. Yeah, do you use them or?
No, Steve Dicker's got one, hasn't he?
No, because I really wanted one. I don't know. I'm bitter about it.
Veggie
I really wanted one, and we was at Malvern. I've mentioned this before, and I said to Tony O'Neill about it, and he said, "Oh, they're around the corner. Let's go speak to them." They didn't even care. I was breathing oxygen in that field. They swooned over Tony O'Neill. Honest to God, he was like the Messiah walking through that field. I just walked away with my my sausage roll, and I thought, well, carry on.
Yeah, you just need a couple 100,000 more followers.
I got a lovely veg truck that's been given to the channel, which I'm going to show when the weather gets better and I didn't have a chest infection. But it is beautiful. It's got like a cover on it as well, and that's going to be introduced into the courtyard part that I've got at the front. So,
oh, nice.
Locke just said Emma going, Danny. Oh, well, lucky bloody you. Yeah, I've seen she's going actually. You're him and a personality, you cheeky bugger. He's not getting over sassy in this group today. I'm gonna have to start vetting who the admins are because they're all turning on me. Jane Kelly, if you keep going on about this thing in the blooming chat, I can still see you talking about it.
Ali's asked me a question. It would be rude not to answer.
I'm gonna have to go after this now and remove all them.
I haven't named names. I wouldn't do such a thing.
It says block this user. I might have to put you on timeout.
So has anyone else started planting anything yet? So I'm a bit like you, Annie. I'm sort of itching to get going.
Yeah.
I've not even done my chilies yet. I'm going to do them in a.
I haven't.
Aubergines and stuff like that.
My chilies are in. Some onions are in.
Are they up?
That's it. Yeah.
Chris, look at these bad boys. Let me.
Someone's showing off.
Yeah,
they're all looking good. I look like a proper gardener. And I've got Chris, a nice little tray of lettuce ready for my new.
Fantastic! I really need some grow lights.
These, Chris, I'm not even joking you, right? These were, I think I paid £40 for 2 of them. They're just the right amount for these little shells, and they don't put out too much heat. I have got a different one for the chilies and all, but for the lettuce and all, they just growing off a little.
Light then, or is that just on the windowsill?
No, I've got like a little. It's a £20 little cheapy LED grow light thing I bought off on eBay, and the lettuces. The only reason I'm growing them, I wouldn't normally be pushing them that quickly, but it's because I want to do the video for this veg truck thing. I want to have something to go in this. So
it's fun though, isn't it? Isn't it fun just to have something growing, isn't it? Half the time. Nice. That's why we do it. It's just it grows.
When did you sow your chilies? I'm really sorry, right, that we I don't know the chat much, but if there's questions that we've probably missed. But when did you sow your chilies? Oh God, I think I sowed them. just after Christmas, maybe January.
Yours were in quite early. Yeah.
But they've grown really well. I got like loads of spare ones as well, and they're doing okay.
They're doing really well.
Have you been pinching the tips out?
No, I haven't done nothing yet, Annie. But I got. If anyone wants any, well, not probably asking you lot, but I mean, if anyone's coming to Malvern and they want an aubergine plant, they all germinated. Look at them.
Look at them.
That's really impressive.
Hey, this is why I'm a YouTuber. Let's see Dig World Green.
What variety is it?
This is called a violent. I went to say violent night. Violet night.
Violet night. As opposed to black night, is it?
An angry aubergine.
But if anyone's coming to Malvern and they want an aubergine plant to take home, £3 each. No, if you want an aubergine
200
plant,
people are going to turn up.
You can have one because I got.
Gutted. I can't go.
Annie, I can't believe you can't come.
I know. I wanted to come, and I'd been asking you all what days you were going, and then you said you were going on the Sunday. But I'm actually flying out to Rome the next day, so it's just not practical.
You've got the travel bug now, Annie. Your garden's going to go downhill for this.
I know.
It's going to go downhill. You will need to get yourself irrigation.
Is Malvern any good? I've never been.
Chris, someone's asking in the comments, when is it? I don't know.
End of May?
It's in May, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the Sunday is.
No, it's not end of May.
It's the 12th of May, isn't it?
It's like the middle. I think it's the 12th of May.
12th of May, you're all meeting.
If anyone's coming, Jane Kelly will be there with her Sharpie to sign autographs and.
I don't think so.
I will. I'll be there. One in each colour.
But didn't you say there's an autumn version as well?
Annie will be going to the autumn one as well. Tony O'Neill, Tony O'Neill, you going on? You coming on the 12th now?
9th to the 12th, right? Okay, yeah.
9th to the 12th, but 12th is the best one. I personally think 12th is the best one. I like the Sunday. It's nice and chilled, and
cheap. Yeah, is that the dog?
It's bloody jam. Go on.
Yeah, Sunday you get all the stuff that they're giving away at the end of the show if you wait around till the end.
That stresses Tony out with Jane. Let me tell you now. She's there queuing for a bloody chat for about 20 minutes.
Oh, but it's good. It's good. Yeah. So yeah, you can get some real bargains on the last day. So
if anyone wants to go to the Gardeners World Live at the NEC, you must let me know because I haven't been. Did I go last year? No, I didn't go last year.
I might be going. I might be going to Annie because in a way I prefer that one.
Hey,
it's
stop trying to deter people.
I like
because
to go.
It's good food as well.
Yeah, but I like to go maybe once every other year because it can get to be too similar. But I've been to the autumn one twice now because that's just down the road from me. That's at Audley End, and that is really good.
Yeah,
but it's got a completely different feel.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend for Malvern then? Is it best to get the train up there or drive up there? Is easy parking? What do you think?
Parking's fine. Parking's
fine.
But train.
The only issue I got is I only had 2,000 subscribers back then, so I had to carry Tony from the car to the gate, pay his ticket.
If you get a train though, Chris, the shuttle buses from the station to the showground, so that makes it really easy. But yeah, I don't know which route you would take, but it's fairly straightforward.
What part of the world are you then, Chris?
Southeast Cornwall.
Cornwall. Wow.
Yeah,
so it's
just over the river. So it's a fair journey anywhere up country to see anything.
Yeah.
But
someone just said me and Locke can't come, so we expect a live stream for the event. Me and Jane were going to do that. I think it was the last year, the year before, Jane. We were going to do something similar, weren't we? But
I missed what you said. Sorry, what did you say?
We were. I thought I'd mute myself then. We were going to do something before, weren't we, about a live or something while we were.
Yeah.
We were going to do. Do you know? I think we're going to do something different this year. I think we might go. Should we go around? I think we should go around, Jane, right, and just randomly start signing people's things that don't really know who we are. And I think that'd be
just annoy people. Just really annoy.
We annoy them anyway.
Yeah.
Normally, Jane buys stuff that this is how the Malvern normally goes. Normally, Jane will buy stuff that she don't really need, like a big brass owl. And then
It's not a gadget.
And then
It's
she
not a
tries to
gadget.
get you to carry it. Tony O'Neill tut in because he thinks it's a nonsense thing to buy, which it is.
With
And
only
then-
3 wheels on his cart.
And then Tony
Is that
bought
the man
himself
that's got a row of bed heads?
Tony then bought I bought a trolley. Tony then bought a better trolley, sort of. And then Tony then loved this trolley, and then he lost the wheel.
Lost his wheel.
Then he lost his wheel. So we were all chuckling, and Tony had to then go. We couldn't replace it or something, could he? I can't remember what it was. Like we lost the pin.
No. I know.
So
and hadn't they?
Ah.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I think it's a good fun, but it's huge. So don't think if you're going to turn up there, you'll just walk on and you'll see all of us. I
think it is big, but I think, Chris, it's you can hear the dog. The spring one is more flowers and show gardens, and the autumn one is more vegetables and your giant veg and all that sort of thing. So if you're more interested in the veg, it might be worth waiting for the.
But then saying that though,
you prefer the spring one, do you?
I like
the autumn
both.
one, to be honest.
Right.
The only thing about the autumn one is that I was disappointed about they had the allotment, and you thought, God, that was beautiful. And then when you look down, they got like a row of lettuces, and they're just in a tray of compost.
That's how they
6
do
lettuce, and they covered everything up with compost on top, so it looks like a bed. But really, underneath it's just
bed.
trays, which is clever.
That's what they do with show gardens. That's what they do in the spring with all the beautiful flower gardens. They're just
in pots.
They just pick them up for transport.
It's just an illusion, isn't it?
Yeah, I personally go just to have a little chin wag with.
I must admit, if it wasn't for the fact that we met up, I'd probably go once every other year, like you say, Annie, because it can be very samey.
Yeah.
Every year, but when there's people there who you're going to meet up with, apart from Danny, it could be quite nice.
I really wanted to go just to meet everybody, and I'm gutted now.
Maybe come in the autumn one, Annie. Don't be going to Fallaraki or somewhere or in the autumn. Locke just said that Jessie and Hannah weren't allowed to film there. You can film there, but you can film anywhere, but you've got to apply for a press pass rather than just turning up as a normal guest.
You can't film the show gardens.
No.
You can't film the show garden or anything BBC.
Yeah, because that's the reason why they're there as well, isn't it?
Copyright and everything, yeah. But yeah, you can film going round.
Me and Jane, all me and Jane used our press pass if I was to use the closest toilet. That's as much as it was Andy, Jane, wasn't there?
Oh, it was free coffee.
Everyone was.
So you applied for a press pass?
I'm not telling you, Chris.
Oh,
I'll tell you after I applied for mine.
You can do.
Fair enough.
But we didn't even want to go to the toilet, but we went anyway because it was free.
Yeah,
and we
it was
didn't
free.
have to give.
Well, I think the Gardens World Live might be worth thinking about because it's at Birmingham and it's essential for everybody.
Yeah.
Annie, stop trying to defect just because you can't come.
Well,
it's good.
Do you know what, Annie? I'll come to both. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll sign your truck, Annie.
Oh, Kerry's saying, Kerry, you filmed going around without a press pass at Malvern.
Yeah,
and
Kerry, that's
Gardens World.
illegal. That's illegal. Just because you did it, Kerry.
Oh no, she has just gone. Shh. Yeah, I think I would have done it. If I hadn't known Kerry, I would have done as well.
Just because you can doesn't mean you're allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just more of a bit of fun. I'm looking forward to going not for a truck, but Jane, you know, what's that? Who's that YouTuber that used to be on with the purple shed?
Oh, Katie.
Come on. Katie.
Lavender and Leeks, now the old orchard.
Lavender and Leeks, yeah. Does anyone remember that channel? I used to. I mean, that'd be the perfect allotment for you. That would little muffin.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
And
she's
she
back
goes
on now,
a
isn't she? She's got a new channel.
She's got the old
it was the same channel. I think it's called the Old Orchard.
No, she's moved. She's moved.
Oh.
So it's the Old Orchard Garden now.
Yeah. It's called the Old Orchard.
Or
She's still on Instagram as well. But they sell a lot of antique things or homemade things as well. And
they do a lot of the shows,
didn't
don't
she,
they?
Jane?
She did. She gave
really
us a
nice
discount. Oh, she was lovely.
Yeah. I bought quite a few things.
Yeah.
I I think that's
It's
like
really
where my
nice.
cast iron obelisks come from as well. And
I bought some good stuff from her online. They do these like hoops, and you just get a bit
Yes.
of corrugated
minus the Linda
plastic. And you put them
Politano.
in. They're
love
really
those.
good. They're really
I love
good.
those.
Yeah.
They
Her
sold
father
out.
makes them, Chris.
Yeah. You
I bought the
weld them up.
hooks. Those hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I bought some I got a bit overexcited. I think I bought some iron poppies as well. And but she's so lovely, and I do really miss her channel because it was a lovely channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
She
she's
is
nice
like-
to talk to. She was really
She's
nice
like
to talk to.
she is like the British version of Amia's allotment. She is, Amia's the Indian version. It's very calming, very peaceful, and she never had an ounce of dirt on her. I don't think either.
Oh right,
she had a
okay.
perfect
So I'm not
And
the
she had
only
the
one.
apron,
Yeah.
but she had the perfect little shed,
Wallpapered shed.
wallpapered shed. She had a little
I
oven
love
in it. She used
that,
to bake cakes in there as
Cookers.
well.
Yeah.
And then she used to
Had
get
that
that
1950s kitchen stand, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
she used to
love that.
mash up all the raspberries and make herself a little cake and all. I was thinking it was lovely, idyllic. Chris, there's a question here for you.
Oh.
Alice's dream seedlings seem very petite. Is that normal?
How big? When did you sow them? How long have they been
No,
growing?
do they mean the
they grow.
seedlings?
Well, I don't know. They grow into big 6 foot or more plants, so I don't think they're particularly small. No, they'll get going. Just depends on the conditions you're growing in them, perhaps. But
Yeah. When did
No,
you sow them? If it was a couple of days ago, then they're
they're
about
going to be
right.
petite. Yeah. No, they were my favourite tomatoes last year. They were just divine. Really look brilliant and taste amazing. Really good. If you're growing those, they're great.
Alice's dream. Is that
Yeah.
what they're called?
Yeah, really nice.
Jane, if you was nice, you could have had some. But I think I got 2 of them. Oh no, I think I got some extra ones now. Jane, I got a spare seed here, Jane, if you want one, right by
Just
here.
the one. Just the
Just the
one.
one
You
seed.
keep it, Danny. You keep it.
Next
I
year, I'll
wouldn't
have
want
a
to
few more.
deprive you.
Yeah. No,
That's the thing. Once you've got them, you can save them all, can't you?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I-
They're a really nice tomato.
I'm hoping they're going to be one of my winners for this year because I fed Linda last year and her family are going to need to be fed again this year. I can see it now. She's nodding in the background there. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows, eh? We'll try for the other show, Annie, as well. Send me some dates of what you think you might do, and perhaps I'll try and go to that one as well, and we'll see.
It'd be good if there was some central whereby everyone could put their name down and say, "I'm going to be on that day, and I'll see you at that tent." And so it was like,
That's what we do.
organised. That would be quite
That's
cool.
what we do.
We normally
The
say it was
first-
1 o'clock, wasn't it, Jane? 1 o'clock.
The first time I did it, though, because I approached Malvern, this is way before COVID and everything, and explained, I said, I know quite a few YouTubers who are going to be coming along. Is there a particular area of a tent that's not going to be used that we could sort of reserve so people could just come and go and meet? And that turned into a few of us doing a talk in the Harvest Pavilion tent about allotment gardening.
wow,
and
wow.
that was, and so there was me.
Jane, did they ask you to talk though, or did you just carry on talking? It became a Jane Kelly talk.
It became, well, because I asked
Everyone
for
was
a bit of a tent. Because I asked for a bit of a tent, they said, there's the Harvest Pavilion, that's free. And I went, that sounds brilliant. And they said, well, what would you want to talk about? And I went, oh. And they said, well, there's a little stage there. You could do a little Q&A. And so there was me, Vivi,
Right, I'm turning you off. You
Hugh.
mentioned
Hugh and Liz. And the 4 of us sat there, and there were quite a few familiar faces were there. And it was just such good fun. And since then, we did it the
They've
year
never asked
after
them
as well.
Amazing.
they've never asked
we
us.
did it the year after, and then we had COVID. And but the idea is, what we do now is we say, right, a certain place at a certain time,
Right.
and we try and do the group photo. But then I get stuck on the M6, and it doesn't always
No,
go
she
to
don't.
plan.
This is what happens, really. We all turn up there. Tony and Neil's are very efficient in his planning, and we normally arrive there about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Jane Kelly's, we've been there all morning now, looking round, ready for lunch. Jane Kelly stumbles with her hair all like a bird's nest, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because she just got up and got in the car and turned up there. That's what happens. Then we're all waiting for her. Digwell's stressing because he got a meal booked in the posh restaurant, and we're all eating £8 amok rolls, and that's what happens. And then we all have a little chuckle for an hour.
We were diverted off the M6 and ended up in West Bromwich. Never been there before in my life. I was terrified, but we got we got there eventually. But that's what happens. So there is a dedicated place.
Right.
Time,
yeah.
So
if any YouTubers are coming who aren't here tonight or on the then just perhaps send me an email and then we can arrange a time, or send Jane an email, and we can arrange a time. It's normally 1 o'clock by the picnic benches, because you've got to try and you're giving evil eyes to families with kids to get out of the way, because we all want to sit on the picnic benches because they're like gold.
Yeah.
If you got, sorry, Danny. I was going to say, if you got a website or something where you could put all this, or
no. I should really no. I keep saying
I can put one on mine, but
there you are. We'll do that, Chris. We'll arrange it with you to sort it out.
Yeah.
Look at you trying to plug your website. Well done, Chris.
Maybe set up that group.
Do you know the worst part about it was, though? I waited 45 minutes for a seat on the picnic table, and I was sat next to bloody Steve Digwell. Good Lord, he can talk. Took a glass eye to sleep there, man. I just wanted to sit there in peace, and he had to sit next to me. Honest God, it was the worst seat in the house.
Karen, I know West Bromwich isn't that bad, but I was lost. I didn't know what was going on. And I was with Rue from Rue's Life, and honestly, the pair of us we were just not very good at navigating, and we just giggled the whole time. So we were exhausted by the time we got to Malvern. Exhausted. And what did we face?
They were exhausted. She didn't get up till about 11 or 12, and me and Tony O'Neill picked me up at 7 o'clock. He had the sandwiches, he had everything, he had flask, he brought hot water for the back. That man is a planner. Honestly.
But you were bored. You were bored by 1 o'clock. You wanted to go home, whereas we just started.
That was because I was sat next to Steve Digwell. It was nothing to do with the show. Good Lord.
Ah, dear.
So then, do you drive home, or do you stay up there? I mean,
no, I'm not a very good driver, so I always use bigger YouTubers like Tony O'Neill. He's a more efficient driver than me. And he is a very good driver, I will say that. Plus, he's got a van as well. So we always think, we got plenty of excuses to fill the van up, you know?
You can bring all the stuff that you've said you're going to give people. You can put it all in the van.
You can just load
no excuses now.
All the aubergines, the little glass panel.
Yeah.
How about a new viewer? Steve, you don't have to be a YouTuber to come over.
No, of course you don't.
Over. No, but it is a £5 charge if you want to. 3 if you want to sit next to Steve Digwell. I'll give it my seat. Honest to God, I'll give it my seat. You can sit by him. Honestly, you give me a £5 back to rescue him. But if anyone wants to come, you can be a viewer or a YouTuber.
Oh, you don't have to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. We'll put it on Chris's website and stuff. I'll put a link in the description when it's all done.
Yeah.
And
I could put something up there which enable people to sort of register in it and put their details, or if they want to, and where they're from, and their websites, YouTube channel.
150
what days are going to go?
Tony?
£150.
Is it pounds? I thought it might be tomatoes.
I feel bloody robbed. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he's expensive.
The only thing I will say is, if we could all meet up, we'll all have a nice photograph as well and stuff. But what we tend to do is we tend to then disappear a little bit and go and do your own thing. But normally, we've done all hours in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we was going to then meet up for lunch and then do a little bit of a wander around. No, Jane Kelly, because she was on her own, then she wanted us to go all back around again. We had to keep pretending we were shocked.
I was with Ruth. I tell you, I think the worst thing is, though, we don't imagine that we all meet up and then all go around en masse.
No.
Like a great
That'd be weird. That's follow the flag sort of thing. Yeah. YouTube
football crowd. No.
Freddie had a T-shirt saying "I'm on YouTube" on, didn't he? He had Freddie's allotment YouTube that his mum had made for him. So people did notice more then. But it's not for that really. It's just
nice. It's friendly.
And you say they give everything away on Sunday, because I went to Chelsea about 25, 30 years ago on the Sunday, And it was mad. Everyone was walking through the tube with these huge.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Tony
They
just
do
said,
that.
Gardener's World. Yeah.
They do that on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll always remember when Rue and Jane tried to convince me and Tony to go tortoise hunting, and we were mortified. We'd seen everything, right? Jane and Rue were so excited to go and find this tortoise that was on the other side of
Giant tortoise. Come on.
I've just been sat there as the joke. I've just been sat there as the Digwell for the last 30 minutes. I'm not going to look for another slow coach. You know, he's a slow walker as well. We had to run off from him in the end.
I think you've got to plug his channel, say something nice about him at the end of this video.
Yeah.
Poor Mr. Digwell.
Okay, if anyone wants to see his channel. So go over, subscribe to his channel, and yeah, if you've got problems sleeping at night, it's bloody lovely for that. He's a lovely man.
He's lovely. He's lovely. Digwell Greenfingers. You'll all know him.
You know,
We all love him.
Yeah.
Well, calm down, Annie. Love is a strong word. I tolerate the man.
I love you, Steve.
He's all right. He ain't watching now. He'd watch halfway through. He'd have a nap, and then in the morning, then he'd watch the rest again. He's probably fallen asleep editing one of his videos, I expect. I don't blame him. I had to do that watching the buggers. Oh, I don't know. Right, we've been on you nearly 2 hours. This is the longest live I've done. Yeah. This has been a 2 hour
Where did that time go?
Sorry about that.
I know. No, so we're going to set up Malvern, sort all that out. Everyone, hopefully you can come. Annie will try and sort it. If not, you can come to the autumn one. Annie, I think you'd like the autumn one more, but I'd like you to come to either one, or perhaps we'll come to the other show. I'll make a bit of effort. I didn't really show much of Jane Kelly, so here's Jane Kelly here. Oh, that's Annie. Here's Jane Kelly.
That's my rake.
This is Mike.
I got a rake like that.
It's my favourite gadget. He's my favourite, next to the Hurry Hurry. Actually, he's not. He's second favourite.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we shall all see you So next week, I think we've got Jane Kelly again. She's paying me, honestly, paying me. Jane Kelly, Rue Lander. Who else is that? A Kerry from Dog on the Plot, and lovely Linda from the Feel Good Garden. So, no, we're not. We can't go yet. We got a couple of minutes. So if anyone's got a YouTube channel, type in the word YouTube now in your comments. People can go over and subscribe. So. If you're in the chat now watching, you've got a YouTube channel, type in YouTube and go and give them all a subscribe. I'll also put a link to Annie's, Amia's, Chris's, and Jane's channels in the description as well after we finish the live. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching again tonight.
I think anyone who stayed 2 hours deserves some good gardening medal.
Honestly, there's quite a good amount still hanging on.
Yeah.
We're sorry we've ranted on, but if you've got a YouTube channel, pop YouTube on there now, because I actually found a few after the live that I didn't even know about that I'm watching, which I just never seen before. And it wasn't that I've not been looking. It's just YouTube didn't show me them sometimes. So I'm glad really that Tony O'Neill, if you want to put your channel up just to get a couple of more subscribers. If Tony O'Neill wants to write YouTube in the chat, he can do it as well. You know, I know he's a struggling channel and all that. Jamie, I've been trying to contact you. There's no way of contacting you. I've decided I'm going to extend the lives for a couple of more weeks. So Jamie, we're wondering whether or not you want to come on with the lives. If you do, or if any of you got a YouTube channel and you want to come on, or even if you want to pop on for a few minutes, send me an email. And I've only got a few slots left. Or if not, I'll be doing some once a month now after March.
I'll just say that, if you are thinking about doing that, don't be afraid of it. This is only the second time I've done it, and I was really quite nervous before, but Danny's a really good host, and you'll have a great time. So go for it.
Yeah, it's just a general little chat, and if Jane Kelly can do it, anyone can do it. And I've even had Digwell on you, so I must be desperate for guests.
Thank you.
What was that, Jane? I'll pop tomatoes to the post for you. Well, Ali, if you want to save on your postage, I don't mind sharing some of mine send her some because she'll only make up.
Don't let Danny send me any, Ali. Please don't. They're more likely to come from you on the other side of the world there than they are from down the road.
Jamie, send me an email.
Down the road.
And And yeah, and if you want to pop on, or anyone else who's in the live, if you've watched to the end of this now, you deserve to come on. I'll probably be doing one once a month now after March. And then we'll have some more guests on and stuff, and we'll probably have general chats and topics as well. So, and also if there's other topics you want us to talk about, pop them in the comments as well, because it's always handy if there's certain things that you want to ask. I know we've got like Gardner Scott, Tony O'Neill, Muddy Boots, and bloody Jane Kelly again. You know, we got to.
I'm only popping in.
No,
Tony,
you went.
Scott and Nigel. Oh no, I'm not. Oh,
You're
no,
in the full.
I'm there, aren't I?
You're in
No,
the
I'm
full
not.
one.
I'm teaching.
No, you begged me. You said, please let me go on there. I want to meet Tony O'Neill.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't. 8th and 15th, I'm free. 22nd, I'm teaching till
What's the
7:30.
topic for next week? When I decide to, if anyone's got any ideas what you want the topics to be, let me know. Even if you want to send me them on Instagram.
It's Rue, Linda, Kerry, and me, so it'd be interesting if we were talking about what
God, it'd be
technical things we've
absolute.
got.
Next week, don't come and watch the live because it'll be absolute nonsense. They'll be talking about plumbing. They'll be talking about DIY aprons.
Oh!
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we shall see you all again soon.